Okay. So last week, if you remember, we were discussing about the pricing objectives. So maximizing profit, maximizing market share, market skimming, product quality leadership, other objectives, and survival. And I spoke about the product life cycle also to you. Okay. So today we are going to delve into something called the price sensitivity. Okay, determining demand basically. Okay, and it is said that there are there is something called a demand curve actually. Okay, there are some surveys, price experiments, statistical analysis done to get the demand curve, price elasticity of demand, as they say. Okay, so what is price elasticity of demand? Okay, when do we say that this product is price elastic? When do we say that this product is price inelastic? And that is what is called the price sensitivity. Okay, and this is particularly determined by a lot of surveys, price experiments, statistical analysis. Okay, so when I say there is a inelastic demand or elastic demand, so inelastic demand is when for a single unit increase in price, okay, there is not much of difference in the demand of the product. The sales do not go, if the price increases, the sales do not go down drastically. Okay, so quantity of demand doesn't move drastically. It doesn't increase drastically. And when we say elastic demand, in that case, for a small amount of price increase, the quantity of demand or the demand goes up drastically. Okay, goes up very heavily. Okay, so just for an example, I think we discussed this about elastic demand in the introduction session also. And okay, do you remember the examples that we gave for inelastic demand? For price increase, when do we not have any effect on the demand or the volume or the sales? Anybody remembers that if there is a price increase, which are the products where there is no change in demand or change in volume or sales?
Right, for example,
petrol, edible oils. Correct, our edible oils, whichever we take, even commodities that way. If you are eating rice, okay, if you are eating rice, if you are consuming sugar,
necessities are also there, sir.
Come again. It's region.
Basic necessities, which are
yeah. So that's basic necessities. Correct. The basic necessities would not. The demand won't change if there is a price increase. Something like your commodities, your sugar, your oil, your rice, your wheat. Okay, these are all basic necessities. Okay, so that's what is a inelastic demand. At the same time, what would you consider for a product for an elastic demand, where a small increase of price has a big impact on the demand? The demand changes drastically. Okay, so it's something like items. Come again.
Luxurious, all the luxuries.
All the luxury items, yes, of course, luxury items have. Only thing is that remember one thing: luxury items are elastic. At the same time, they are not even inelastic. Okay, I will tell you something like BMW cars. If they increase their price by 5 lakh rupees, do you think people who want to buy BMW cars will not buy them? They will continue to buy them because they are in that economic class where the price difference doesn't make a big difference to them. Okay, price change doesn't make a big difference to them. Somebody who is buying a Louis Vuitton purse, he is buying it because it's his behavior, it's his attitude. Okay. He will not say uske paas paisa hai, that's why he thinks. तो उसका price अगर बढ़ गया तो it doesn't even matter. He doesn't even notice कि price बढ़ गया. ठीक है. At the same time, think about products like you had been eating in restaurants possibly every week. Okay, think about yourself going to restaurants every week and having food there. And then if the restaurant increases its price by 50%, Possibly you will try and avoid that restaurant, because when you go next time, you will see that the price is increased by 50%. You will see that no, it's not worth it now. I will reduce my consumption. I will come twice in a month. Okay. Every week I would not go, I will come twice in a month. Okay. Think about traveling. There are traveling by, people would travel by flights. Okay. And if flights prices increases suddenly, they will try and find out alternatives. Let's go by train. Correct. So demand comes down drastically there. Okay. Think about any kind of a consumable products. Okay. Consumable products. Suppose you are used to drinking a particular kind of a drink, beverage. Okay, you are used to drinking Red Bull possibly every day. Okay, and you like it, and suddenly you find that 100 rupees product has gone up to 200 rupees. You'll start avoiding to buy it. Okay. So there are plenty of such products which people would not buy if the price increases to a little amount, and there is a big difference. I'll tell you one more example. If you go to the market even today, suppose Maggie. Maggie is a product which used to sell at 5 rupees. Or think about Parle G, which sells at 5 rupees for a small little packet. You increase the price of Parle G by 1 rupees. Parle G sells more than 50,000 tons a month. Okay. And if you change the price by just 1 rupees, the sales can fall down to 5,000 tons a month. That's the kind of impact Parle G would have on just increasing a 1 rupee price. Same thing for products like Maggie, same thing for products like, of course, Parle G is a biscuit. And then even think about certain products which you are very, very used to in a particular price point, 5 rupiah, 10 rupiah. Okay, you are used to that price point. You are used to that 99 rupees price point. Okay, मैं जब भी खरीदता हूँ, I buy it at 99 rupees. Suddenly that price goes up to 149 rupees. Okay, you will suddenly see a drop in sales, drop in demand. No, it's not that I'm going to buy. I'm not going to spend so much there. Okay, so these are some examples. Even sometimes fruits and vegetables. Okay. Some fruits and vegetables which are absolute necessity, like our potatoes and our onions, okay, whose prices go up, but there's not much of a difference. Okay. Yes, household difference nahi hai. At your house, the onion consumption won't come down. Your mother won't say, I won't give you onion. Or your mother won't say, I won't give you tomatoes. But of course, restaurants become very, very sensitive. They will not give onion in the salad. They will not put tomatoes in the salad. Okay. So
just like Burger King did when the tomato price.
Correct. So at the consumer household, there is no elasticity for that. Okay, it's inelastic, but at the restaurants and food joints, out of home consumption, there is a huge elasticity in demand. People drop their demands. So they will not buy onions to that quantity because it's a question of profitability there. Okay, the restaurant's profitability goes down. Okay. Of course, that doesn't mean that Taj Hotel will reduce their consumption of onions because they are a luxury hotel. For them, people who come to eat there, their price is already so high that any price increase on any product can be absorbed. Okay, got it. So that is inelastic and elastic demand. And price sensitivity factors that reduce price sensitivity. Of course, the product is more distinctive. Buyers are less aware of substitutes. Okay, so what reduces price sensitivity? Why does onion prices, even if it goes up, the consumption doesn't go down that much? Because people do not have a substitute. People do not have a substitute. Petroleum, if you have a scooter which runs on petrol, and petrol prices even go up by 10 rupees or 100 rupees, you will not not say that I'm not going to take my scooter out. Okay? Because you don't have a substitute. Correct. It's a very, very distinctive product, doesn't have a substitute. Buyers cannot easily compare the quality of substitutes. आपके पास कोई comparison नहीं है ऑनियन का. आपके पास, you don't have any comparison of BMW's 2 Series Grand Coupe, very, very distinctive distinctive car. Very, very distinctive. Everybody knows this is a very, very unique car. People won't, whoever wants to buy a Grand Coupe, BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe will go and buy a BMW, whatever price goes up. Okay. Now, the expenditure is smaller part of the buyer's total income. Okay. So, when you, if you earn, that's what I said, luxury products, usually are inelastic. Because that buying a Louis Vuitton, purse, or buying a possibly even a BMW car, Mukesh Ambani ke liye koi fark padta hai kya? Nahi padega na. So it's a very small part of their total income. They don't even bother. Correct. That's the time price sensitivity is less. Such products price sensitivity is less. Okay. The expenditure is a small part compared to the cost of the end product. Okay. The thing is that, suppose you have an expensive car, something like an Audi, BMW, or a Porsche, or something like that, and that car has been damaged somehow. There is a scratch on that, or there is something which has gone wrong in the car, and you're going to the service station. The cost of that that repair, okay, is a small part of that end product. Porsche का एक small part है. Porsche is a 1 crore rupees car possibly. और उस पे अगर आप 5 लाख भी खर्चा कर देते हो, doesn't matter to that guy. So end products, is the cost of that repair is very, very little compared to the end product. Okay, sometimes you are you're going to buy a specs, your sunglasses sort of, and you are buying a very, very expensive sunglass, a very, very expensive brand, which is possibly 30,000, 40,000, and then you need that glasses of that sunglass to be, powered sunglasses. Basically, it should have power. Okay, and suppose that 50,000 worth sunglass or 30,000 worth sunglass, the optic showroom says, sir, 10,000 का खर्चा आएगा इसका power बनाने के लिए. For him, this doesn't matter. He's buying a 50,000 worth sunglass. Okay, so it's a very, very small part of the total cost of the product. Part of the cost is borne by another party. Okay, sometimes what happens is you're not paying for the full cost. You're paying a part of the cost, something like, I tell you like what? Even say, sometimes have you seen these companies who sell products with a commitment that we buy this back after 5 years? You have to pay an installment, just an installment for buying it. Okay? So you're possibly, even BMWs and Audis and Mercedes, they do it. Okay? So the dealers and the company, they actually, take a part of the total cost of that car. Okay? And that's the time it doesn't matter to you and me when we go and buy a BMW. बोलते ठीक है 5 साल बाद तो इसका 70% हमें return मिल जाएगा. ठीक है? There's the time the price doesn't matter much to you. ठीक है? Somebody else is taking up the cost. Okay. When sometimes you find zero cost EMIs on products. ठीक है? That's the time you say ठीक है price ज़्यादा है but मुझे 3 साल का EMI मिल रहा है उसमें भी zero cost को interest pay नहीं कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है? Price doesn't matter much. ठीक है? The product is used in conjunction with assets previously bought. Okay, so something like, as I said, as I give you an example. ठीक है? I bought a expensive house. Okay, I bought an expensive house and I am I want to get the house painted. And that's mandatory. The house needs to get painted. At that point of time, do you really consider price increase of Asian paints or price increase of Berger paints? You don't. Because for you, the most important thing is my house needs to get painted well. Okay. Sometimes you buy an insurance for your car or your home. Okay. And that's a must for you. Do you really think what is, if the price has gone above that insurance by 5,000, no, I will not buy an insurance. Can you do that? No, you can't do that. Okay. You're buying a health insurance. Okay. While there are too many companies who provide health insurance, the price increase in health insurance will never matter because for you, health is more important. Correct. Health is there always with you when you are just buying a health insurance to cover your medical expenses. So price increase, आप ऐसा तो नहीं बोलोगे ना कि थोड़ा प्राइस बढ़ गया तो मैं हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लूंगा नहीं, मैं लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लूंगा नहीं, मैं कार इंश्योरेंस लूंगा नहीं, ऐसा होता ही नहीं है. So something which you own earlier, previously owned asset, if that particular product is in conjunction with that previously owned asset, then its price sensitivity is very low. The product is assumed to have more quality, prestige, exclusiveness, exactly just like I said. Chanel, Louis Vuitton, these are all big brands. They have a quality, they have a prestige, they are exclusive. Okay. And so there you don't compare prices. You don't say that with the price increase, I'm going to not buy this. If the price is high, I'm not going to buy this. Okay. When buyers cannot store the product. Okay. So when buyers cannot store the product, that means there's a crisis in the market. Okay. There's a crisis in the market, and you as a buyer, you are not able to store any product, something like mostly even in services sort of things. Okay. In services, if a doctor's treatment costs you 1,000 rupees and that doctor is good, if he increases his fees by 1,200 rupees to 1,200 rupees, would you say, no, I'm not going to go to that doctor? No. Because his services cannot be stored. Electricity. If the price increases by 5 rupees, do you say that I will not use electricity? No, you will never do that. Gas connections, you will never do that because you can't store it. It has to be used immediately. And if you don't use it, you don't get it again. You cannot store it. Correct. And so price doesn't matter for you. You have to get it somehow or the other because this cannot be stored. There's a crisis always. A crisis there. So if you even plan to store electricity, you can't do that. If you plan to store, your doctor's treatment, you cannot do that. Okay. So whatever price he or she asks from you, you have to provide it. Okay. Okay. Did I give an example? Explore financial options of booking a car, down payment. Yeah. So I was telling you about this one, the financial option of booking a car. BMW 360-degree, down payment 10 lakh rupees, 10 lakh 47,000, financing amount is 31 lakh. This is the finance loan given to you. 10-year, 48 months, monthly installment 39,000, assured buyback 23 lakhs. This is what this one. This part of the cost is borne by the another party. There's a time you say, अरे वाह, अच्छा है ना, मैं 10 लाख दे रहा हूँ, टोटल फाइनेंस इतना ले रहा हूँ और 23 लाख मुझे रिटर्न मिल रहा है. इसका मतलब 42 लाख में मुझे 23 लाख रिटर्न मिल रहा है 4 साल के बाद, और मैं BMW 360 ले रहा हूँ. ठीक है. So okay, now estimating cost, type of cost and level of production, fixed versus variable cost, total cost, average cost. Okay, so there are a couple of costs, okay, which need to understand now. Okay, now very, very importantly, remember one thing, that when you are producing something, manufacturing something, the more you manufacture, the cost goes down. Okay, the cost behavior in a fixed size plant, the more you manufacture, the cost goes down. Okay, and I want to stop it here, and I want to ask you guys just a second. Just- Yeah. So I want to stop it here and ask you guys, just think about, why does the cost go down?
Just because the less in demand.
Nahin, nahin. I'm talking about
Sorry.
production. I'm talking about production cost.
Achha, sir, because when we buy something in a volume,
Mhm.
so obviously because of the transportation cost and like the buying cost gets down, sir. Because we are buying in volume, so the seller gives the additional discount on the volume, that if you buy the certain amount of volume, so I will give you the this much certain amount of discount on that.
Or thoda sa socho. Think a little bit more.
And also for the production and like, because the labor will be fixed, okay, and because we do not need to pay because, for example, 10 laborers are our total production is 50 tons, and that all are handled by 10 laborers, and we increase 10 more tons production. So in the similar cost, we can make more production in the market. We can make more production. So that is why, because it all depends on the volume and what we are in the market.
This, one is that little bit. Okay. So let me explain you first, why a cost would go down. Partly you are very right. Okay. There is something called a fixed cost, and there is something called a variable cost. Fixed cost to fixed cost here. Mera marketing cost, mera sales and distribution cost, mera general and administrative cost of a company. Those are fixed costs. That doesn't change. What changes? The variable cost changes. Okay. And the variable cost consists of what? Raw material, packaging material, and labor costs mostly. Correct. Now, if I produce one unit, okay, one unit, and I have my production is less, okay. Suppose my plant capacity is 1,000, or my plant capacity is, let it be 1,000, okay, and I'm now at a demand state of around 500. ठीक है, मैं 1,000 produce कर सकता हूँ. I need exactly what you said. I need 10 laborers, ठीक है, to work throughout the day to produce 1,000. Now, if I'm producing 500, then my per unit cost is high. You're right? Am I right? So that per unit cost becomes high. As I go towards 1,000, जब मैं 1,000 में आ जाऊंगा, that's the time when my per unit cost is actually optimal. I think it's lesser than what I was, what my cost of that product was when I was only producing 10 or 50 or 100. Now, 1,000, my full labor is consumed for 1,000 production. So per unit cost comes down. Got it?
Thank you.
Okay. Saurabh, did you understand, Srijan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So cost falls below the fixed cost and are spread over more number of units. The total cost is spread now over the more number of units. And that is called a short run cost. Okay, that's called a short run cost. Usme do cheez rehta hai. Okay, one is you are spreading the whole fixed cost divided by 1,000. And you are spreading the whole variable cost divided by 1,000. Correct? And so that's called a short run cost. Mera 1,000 unit tak, mera numbers short run average cost of fixed cost and variable cost divided by the total number of units produced. Okay. Now that short run average cost will keep going down till I reach that optimal number. Okay, of production. So for me at the moment, if I again share with you, okay, just a second. Now I'll go back to that slide. Okay, and okay, so the short run average cost, this is the short run average cost, which goes down, ekdam niche aa jata hai, and then it again starts going up. Why does it again start going up? Why does it again start going up? Because my 10 laborers can only help me produce till 1,000. और इसमें देखो फिक्स कॉस्ट भी इंक्लूडेड है. फिक्स कॉस्ट में मेरा जनरल एंड sales and distribution expenses, marketing expenses, everything is included for my short run average cost. Now beyond this level, certain expenses go up. Possibly you need a labor shift then, and that shift transition time is also a time which you need to consider. Okay, there is some additional paperwork that needs to be done. Correct. And those are the time when आपको 10 लेबर से ज्यादा लेबर लगना शुरू हो जाएंगे. Because you are producing more than the optimal number, and then your labor cost slightly goes up because the labor shift में time लगता है. ठीक है, the same number of laborers may be there, but they may not be working more than 8 hours. So another 8 people, another 10 people has to come and join. So that labor shift has to be there. Okay, there may be after every 8 hours of shift, there may be a plant, plant maintenance required. That's the additional cost. Okay, there's some paperwork which may need to be additional cost. So then again the short run average cost starts going up. Correct. So this is the cost behavior in a small size plant, in a fixed size plant, where the per 8 hour shift there is a fixed amount that can be produced. If you want to produce more, you have to give more labor. Okay, because raw material, packaging material cost per unit keeps going same. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir.
The thing that will change per unit now will be the labor cost, the transition time cost, the other paperwork cost, and so on and so forth. So it will slightly go up again now. So 1,000 is the optimal, where the lowest price comes, lowest cost comes with the maximum number of units that you can produce. After that, again, the short run average cost goes up. Okay. For a cost behavior for a different size plant. Okay. So if you want to produce 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, okay, these are the different size of production. So for all individual ones, there is a curve where you have 1,000 as the optimal, which again goes up, which becomes 2,000 as the optimal, then 3,000 as the optimal, then 4,000 as the optimal, and so on and so forth. Okay. And there's something called the lowest run average cost ka curve. Okay. Can you see this small, yahan par dekho, this point, this point, this point, this point, these are all joined. Okay. And then this line is called the lowest run average cost. So this is, this is the average cost curve, as you can say. This is the lowest run average cost, and this is the SRAC is what? What is SRAC? Abhi hum log ne bole.
Short run average cost.
Huh?
Short run average cost.
Short run average cost and long run average cost. Okay, long run average cost is when you actually start having a long run, 1,000 1,000 production, 2,000 production, 3,000 production, 4,000 production, and so on and so forth. जब long run हो जाता है, तो every run has its own short run curve, lowest point, lowest cost point, which when you join all of them, that becomes a long run average cost. Okay. So there are different plants, right? कुछ plant है जो fixed, मैं 1,000 तक प्रोड्यूस कर सकता हूँ. कुछ प्लांट है जो बोलते हैं नहीं 1,000 पर कर सकता हूँ, 2,000 कर सकता हूँ. And more you start producing, the more your long run average cost keeps going down to one extent जहां पर वो फिर long run average cost बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है, because फिर वही the same thing for beyond 4,000, again that labor cost starts going up. ठीक है, then your paperwork starts going up, possibly even your shift timings matter a lot. Because time also has a cost, right? You're spending money on time. So that time cost also comes in, and so on and so forth. Correct. Now, accumulated production expenditure and learning curve, this is interesting. And as they say that, the more you produce, there is another thing called the experience curve. The more experience you have, your cost keeps going down. Okay, why? Because there is a learning curve that happens. There's an experience curve or learning curves that happens. Initially when you start producing, the laborers possibly start learning things. Okay. And after one stage, they become experts. They can do it much faster. They can produce much. Think about us. They have given an example of a Samsung. Think about a line manufacturing unit of Samsung mobile phones. Initially, जब possibly वो बन रहा था, they would have taken time to join the parts, etc., etc., etc. And then after some time, after some number of units, they have become experts now. So पहले अगर per hour they were producing 1,000, now they have started producing 2,000, then 3,000. Then because of that learning experience, they have learned well. They know how to do it very well. Their time to produce gets lower and lower and lower. And as I said, time is always a cost. So the cost becomes lower and lower and lower. Okay. And that's called accumulated production, current price and current cost. And then with your experience, it goes down. Correct. This is something which is very interesting. Then target costing, estimating cost, targeting price, less desired profit margin. Okay. So sometimes what we do, when you have already decided, that my product, you don't calculate the price on the basis of mera cost kitna hai, uske upar profit kitna hai, and so on and so forth. You straight away say this is my price, and I will have a desired margin on that. And so you straight away put a target costing that my costing should be, I don't decide the price. I decide the cost first, okay, and then work out the price. Okay. Usually क्या होता है? You produce a product, you calculate the cost, and then you add a margin. You add a profit margin. But here what is happening is sometimes when you have a competition and the competition's pricing, suppose I'm producing I'm producing a mobile phone person with same features, advantages, benefits of another mobile phone. And I know that mobile phone in the other competitor has a cost of production of 500 rupees. So my target cost is decided for कि मेरे को कुछ भी करके मेरा वो cost को 500 में first लाना है. So my R&D starts working, my engineers start working, everybody starts working in the organization to bring through that cost. ठीक है? And according to that cost, then they will add the margin so that they can match the market price. So this is target costing, estimating cost, target costing. They do not have cost ki mera labor cost itna hoga, production, raw material cost itna hoga, packaging material cost itna hoga, fixed cost, marketing cost itna hoga, wo blah, 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 blah. They will not do that. And they will, hum log usually costing kaise nikalte hain? Fixed cost plus variable cost is equal to the total cost of the product, right? And then we add some profit and say this is the price. Now here, they first decide the cost. भैया मुझे 500 रुपया का cost रखना है. अब all that fixed cost का items, variable cost का item, everything should be added together to that 500 rupees. उससे ज़्यादा मैं cost नहीं दे सकता. मेरा raw material कहाँ सस्ता मिलता है वो जाके देखो, मेरा packaging material कहाँ सस्ता मिलता है वो जाके देखो, मेरा labor कहाँ सस्ता मिलता है वो जाके देखो, because my total cost cannot be more than 500. So I target my cost and then start working now. Okay. Analyzing competitors' price, firm must take competitors' cost price reactions into account, value price competitor. Okay, particularly value price competitor. So there are plenty of competitors in the market. Some are premium competitors, some are economic competitors. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, there are economic competitors and so on and so forth. So we need to know the competitor's cost, price, and reactions into market when you are making your pricing. So do that experiment or survey sometimes when you make your price and you launch that price in the market, go and find out the competitor's reaction. Okay. If your price is good, very competitive, you will see that competitor immediately starts giving offers and schemes to protect their price, protect their sales. Correct. And that is very, very important to continuously monitor what the competition is doing, what is the competitor's cost, what is the competitor's price, and what is the competitor's reaction to your product's price. Okay. And that's called value-based pricing. Okay. Value price competitors, because competitors' products values needs to be monitored. Uska features, uska advantages, uska benefits needs to be monitored, and then only you can understand his cost, his price, and his reactions. Okay. Selecting price model, 3 major considerations in price: cost price. Cost is the price, floor price, competitor's price, orienting price, and customer's assessment of unique features price ceiling. Now, this is something very important to understand, that, what should be our ideal price? There's something called floor price. Okay, floor price is what? Basically simple cost price. Below that, if you go, it's a loss for you. You cannot sell below your cost, right? So that's called the floor price. Okay. Low price, no possible profit at this price. So if you sell at the cost, there is no profit. Okay. Now, competitors' price and price of the substitutes, if there is any competitor in the market, okay, their price is to be monitored. Okay, if there's a substitute in the market, their price needs to be monitored. And there's something called ceiling price, beyond which you can't sell. What is that ceiling price? The price which is assessed by customer. The customer feels this product is worth this price. Okay, for any product, if you go and survey in the market, Saurabh, what would you be ready to pay for this? Srijan, what would you be ready to pay for this? Saurabh Chaudhary, what would you be ready to pay for this? You will have an average understanding of this is the maximum price I can charge. This is the maximum price my customers can afford for this product. And that's called the ceiling price. So your price needs to be something in between the ceiling price and the floor price. Okay, so floor price starts with cost price, and then the maximum that you can, the least that you can sell is your competitor price. Okay, आप competitor को monitor करो. If you sell lesser than your competitor's price, there's a chance that you are actually going to make a loss. Okay, because why? Notional loss. You may be making a profit, but if you sell below that price, then that means that you could have sold more at a price which is more, but you are selling at a less price. So notionally, you are at a loss. Okay, so something like.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, bolo. Yes.
Particular chart which you are showing is applicable in a restaurant-based industry.
Come again. I couldn't hear you properly.
The particular chart which you are displaying over here, the ceiling price and the floor price, how
Right.
it is helpful in restaurant-based industry? Restaurants.
What kind of a restaurant industry? Restaurant.
Yes, sir.
Achha. First of all, where do you stay, Srijan?
Varanasi.
Varanasi. Tell me one good food that Varanasi is very famous for. Anything, any food. Just say any particular food, any particular sweets or something like that. Kachori, right? Kachori, you're famous for Varanasi. Fine. Now, if you go to 100 Varanasi people, Varanasi population, and check with them, आप एक कचौड़ी के लिए एक प्लेट कचौड़ी कितने में खाओगे? वो बोलेगा अच्छा कचौड़ी है तो मैं 50 रुपए भी दूंगा, उतना दे सकता हूँ. ठीक है. सो किसी ने बोला 50, किसी ने 60, किसी ने 70, 100 लोगों को आपने पूछा और उसका एवरेज निकला 50 रुपया. उससे ज्यादा कोई देने वाला है नहीं. ठीक है. So take that as a ceiling price. Okay. And now, if you talk about your product, your kachori that you are making, uska cost hai suppose 20 rupiah. सब मिला के खर्चा है 20 रुपया. First of all, you cannot sell lesser than 20 rupiah. because वो तो आपका loss हो जाएगा. And then you see that your competitors are selling somewhere around 40 rupees to 60 rupees. और आप इसको 30 रुपया में बेच रहे हो. So ideally what is happening? That competitors are selling at a price which is more than you. So you are actually losing around 10 to 15 rupees per kachori. You could have charged up to 50 rupees, but you are charging 20, 30 rupees. So 15 to 20 rupees, you are making a loss. Correct? Same thing for restaurants. If restaurants, there are a couple of things, not only the food, the ambience of the restaurant, the place the restaurant is, everything put together is their cost. One good restaurant in a mall, in a great mall, will have a little higher price. In a 5-star hotel, will have a little more price. Same पुलाव खा रहे हो आप एक छोटा रोड साइड रेस्टोरेंट में और एक मॉल के रेस्टोरेंट में और एक 5-star रेस्टोरेंट में, all the three will have different prices.
Yes, sir.
Why? Possibly the same basmati rice they are using, the same recipes they are using, the same masalas they are using, everything. Okay. Only thing is that because of the place where it is situated, the price has gone up.
Also, the services vary.
Services, ambience. Okay. One is a non-AC restaurant, the other is an AC restaurant. Whatever.
Yes, sir.
Everything put. So the price of the plate is not only the price of the food. The price of the plate, cuisine is everything together. So when a 5-star hotel restaurant compares his price with another 5-star hotel restaurant, then you can have a comparison. आप अगर पूछोगे किसी को जाके कि यार ताज में जाके अगर आप एक लस्सी पियोगे तो आप कितना दे सकते हो? People will say हाँ 350-400 रुपया तो ले ही लेगा. उसी बंदे को जाके पूछो कि यार आप अगर आईटीसी में जाके पियोगे तो उसने बोले हाँ वैसे ही होना चाहिए क्योंकि दोनों 5-star होटल है ना, वैसे ही 350-400-500 रुपए के आसपास ही होता है. देन यू नो कि 5-star होटल का प्राइस कितना होना चाहिए. और देन यू नो ऑल्सो द कॉस्ट कितना होना चाहिए क्योंकि वो 5-star होटल मेंटेन करने के लिए भी कॉस्ट है. एंड यू कैन नॉट सेल बिलो दैट कॉस्ट. और फिर आप ये भी जानोगे कि कंपटीटर के उस 5-star होटल्स के कंपटीटर को क्या प्राइस बेचते हैं. देन यू अकॉर्डिंगली मेक योर प्राइस. वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग टू अंडरस्टैंड इज, never do the pricing just ad hoc. In the sense, मुझे cost मालूम है what I am producing, what price I am producing. Suppose I am producing this pen. ठीक है, I am producing this pen. I am manufacturing this pen. Okay. I know the cost of manufacturing this pen. इसका plastic कितने का है, इसका mold कितने का है, इसका refill कितने का है. I know manufacturing कितना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. फिर आई नो द मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट, आई नो मेरा ऑफिस का क्या कॉस्ट है एंड एवरीथिंग. सो मेरा टोटल कॉस्ट, फिक्स कॉस्ट, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट मालूम है मुझे. टोटल हो गया सपोज 15 रुपया का ये पेन है कॉस्ट. ठीक है. एंड आई डिसाइड कि नहीं मैं इसको 30 रुपया में बेचूंगा. देयर कैन बी टू थिंग्स. देयर कैन बी टू थिंग्स. इफ यू जस्ट पुट एन एड हॉक प्राइसिंग, इफ यू डू नॉट डू मार्केट रिसर्च एंड डू एन एड हॉक प्राइसिंग, what will happen is many a times you will be selling it at a price which is more than the price expected in the market. Market wants it at 20 rupees. You are selling it at 30 rupees. So you will have a loss of sales. It will not sell. So your business will not do well. Okay. Again, it can so happen that your market is expecting this to be sold at 50 rupees. The consumers are expecting that its price should be 50 rupees and you are selling it at 30 rupees. So you are actually at a loss of 20 rupees per pack. You could have made that extra 20 rupees. So never do an ad hoc pricing. Go and check the market, do a market survey of what is the expected price in the market and then decide on your pricing. Okay. And of course, it cannot be less than the cost price, that is the floor price. Okay. It can be a little less than the competitor's price, but never less than the cost price. Okay. So competitor's price is something in between. The competitor's price is something between the cost price and the orientation point, somewhere in middle. Okay. Ceiling price or cost price के middle में जो है, that's orienting point. So competitor prices may be little less than the orienting point. And you have a scope of selling it somewhere in the orienting point to ceiling price. Correct. So did I answer your question, Srijan? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, selecting a price method, markup pricing, add a standard markup of the to the cost. So yes, markup and markdown price, these are very, very important prices. Okay. So markup price का मतलब क्या है? What is markup price? So if I give you a let's do a quick quiz sort of. You know, if the cost price of your product is 10 rupees and your markup is 20%, what should be
12
your
rupees.
12 rupees? Okay, because what is that? Your selling price minus cost price divided by cost price is your markup margin, markup percentage. Correct. And if I talk about markdown percentage, then selling price minus cost price divided by selling price. Okay, so if your product is 12 rupees and your cost is 10 rupees, what is the markdown percentage? 12 minus 10 divided by 12. Correct. So basically 12 minus 10 is 2 rupees divided by 12 is the markdown percentage. Okay. So how do you calculate? Sorry. How do you calculate a markup price? Is the unit cost divided by 1 minus desired returns on sales, basically desired percentage. Okay, if you want a 20% margin, so desired return on sales is 20% margin. Okay, so that is a markup price calculation. And similarly, there are certain other pricing calculations, target return pricing that yields is target rate of return on investment. ठीक है, target rate of return on investment. मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि मैं जितना इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूं उसके ऊपर मुझे 20% चाहिए. ठीक है, मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया X रुपीस, उसके ऊपर मुझे 20, आई नीड X plus 20% फ्रॉम द प्राइसिंग. ठीक है, सो टारगेट रिटर्न प्राइस इज यूनिट कॉस्ट, मेरा कॉस्ट जितना है प्रोडक्ट का. ठीक है, डिजायर्ड रिटर्न दैट इज दैट 20% रिटर्न इनटू इन्वेस्टेड कैपिटल. ठीक है, मैं 1 लाख रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया हूं. ठीक है, मेरा डिजायर्ड रिटर्न इज 20% ऑफ दैट 1 lakh, that is 20,000 rupees. ठीक है, and the total unit sales is possibly 10,000. So if I have to get and unit cost is suppose 10 rupees. So if I have to get a target return pricing, that is 20% return on my total investment, then what I have to do, 20% of 1 lakh, that is 20,000 divided by 10,000 units sold, that is rupees 2. So this whole thing becomes 2 rupees. My unit cost is 10 rupees. So my selling price should be 12 rupees per product. Correct? Got it? Any questions till now? Okay. Break even for target return price. Now, all of you who are going to do business, who are in business, who are studying management in future, okay, and wants to become business managers or business people or entrepreneurs, I think one of the most important things that you will be doing in life, if you end up as a business manager or a business entrepreneur, is finding out a business model, making a business model, and calculating the break even for your business. Okay, so what is break even? What is break even? That we will need to understand first. Okay, so I'll.
Sir, a point where the demand and supply are equal.
Come again.
Break even is a point where the demand and supply are equal.
No.
Break even is a
break even is a
point where सर जैसे मैं बोलूँ कि जहाँ पर सब सारे एक्सपेंसेस एंड सब कुछ का वो जो पॉइंट होता है,
break even is the point where your total cost.
Cost, right, sir.
Okay, your total cost, whatever your cost means, what expenses or production cost, everything cost,
Yes,
fixed
sir,
cost.
yes,
But for example, sir, I have invested 1 lakh rupees in a business.
Right.
तो उसका वो 8 महीने या 1 साल में मैंने 1 लाख रुपीस इससे कमा लिया. So that
so total cost is equal to total profit. That's called the break even point. ठीक है. So total आपका, just let's go to a whiteboard and start using it. Yeah. Okay. So suppose my selling price of a product is 20 rupees. Sorry. हाँ, ये व्हाइट बोर्ड भी जरा खतरनाक है. Pen. So suppose my selling price is 20 rupees. Can you see the board? Whiteboard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose my selling price is 20 rupees. All my cost of the goods sold, that is the variable cost, labor cost, क्या नाम है, उसके साथ आप raw material cost, packaging material cost, all that put together is suppose 10 rupees. ठीक है. So if you take 20 rupees में बेचा, 10 रुपया मेरा cost of goods sold, cost of making the product, producing that product is 10 rupees. So my gross profit जिसको बोलते हैं, that is 20 minus 10 is 10. Correct. Now this 10 is gross profit. इसके ऊपर बहुत सारे cost है, which is called the fixed cost. ठीक है. My marketing expenses, my office general and administrative expenses, sales and distribution expenses, and so on and so forth. Suppose that's another 5. ठीक है. So my gross profit is 10. Okay. And my fixed expenses is 5. This was my variable expense. This is my fixed expense. So my final profit is 10 minus 5 is 5. ठीक है. यहां तक समझ लिए?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if my gross profit, if my fixed expense is 10, what is my final profit? My final profit becomes 0. Correct? My final profit becomes 0. So my total revenue, whatever I've earned, is equal to my total cost. I don't make. एक मिनट. So Srijan join कर रहा है. Srijan is joining.
मैंने accept कर लिया, sir.
Yeah. So my 20 rupees was my selling price, my revenue. 10 rupees is my fixed cost, variable cost, my production cost. ठीक है. 10 rupees is called, this 10 rupees is called the gross margin or gross profit. ठीक है. Now from this gross profit, if I deduct the fixed expenses, my marketing expenses, selling and distribution expenses, my general and administrative cost, and so on and so forth, this is called the fixed expense. If I deduct the fixed expense from my gross profit, it becomes my net profit. So my if the fixed expense is equal to my gross profit, then my net profit becomes 0. Okay. And so if you can see from the calculation, if this revenue is equal to total cost, this plus this is the total cost, then my profit becomes 0. I'm making no profit, no loss, and that's called a break-even point. Correct? Hello?
Yes,
Yes, Srijan, I can't hear you. You were saying something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, got it? Understood? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
I
this
was about to say that only, that break-even point is a point where there is no profit and no loss, but I don't know why I
correct.
said
Correct.
the
No
demand.
worries, no worries. These are all learnings. Okay. So this is the simplest way to explain you. Okay. The total revenue is equal to total cost. There's no zero, no profit, no loss situation, and that's called a break-even point. Correct? हो गया? समझ लिया? Okay, I'll close this now. Okay, let me go back to the presentation.
Take a 5 minutes break.
Oh, हाँ, चलो, ले लो 5 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
সচিন খান্ডেলওয়াল বলছে কনফারেন্স পার্টিকুলেশন করে আসলে নাকি প্রেজেন্ট আমি বৈশাখকে বলছি বৈশাখকে প্রেজেন্টেশন বানান আপনার বন্ধু চেয়েছে ঠিক আছে আর আমরা কি মানে শো অফ করতে হবে না সিনেমা সাইনিকে ডিরেক্টরকে শো অফ করবে না হুম কিসের ডেট কিসের ডেট ও হ্যাঁ 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 এ বাবা কেন ও নিজে পড়াতে তুমি শেষ করতে পারবেন সার্ভিসেস মার্কেটিং নাকি ওকে কি দিয়েছিলেন ফিনান্সিয়াল প্রোডাক্ট আচ্ছা ও কমার্শিয়াল ব্যাংকিং এর সিলেবাস করে পড়াচ্ছে আচ্ছা আচ্ছা হুম হ্যাঁ ওর ইয়ে এসছে সিলেবাস কোর্স প্ল্যান এগুলো এসছে হুম ঘন্টা বতাবো জানে কিভাবে বানাতে হয় সেটাই মানে এক্স্যাক্টলি এক্স্যাক্টলি টিপিক্যাল দিল্লি ভালো মানে কি বলবেন আচ্ছা শুনুন না আপনি আমাকে ব্র্যান্ড ম্যানেজমেন্টের সিলেবাসটাও দিন কারণ আমার কাছে একটা সিলেবাস আছে ঠিক আছে আপনি যেটা পড়ানো ওটা ওটা নেই এটা 1972 সালের একটা সিলেবাস আছে আমার কাছে যখন জ্যোতি নায়ার ছিল ঠিক আছে মুম্বাই ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে ঠিক আছে মানে ওটা এতই প্রিমিটিভ যে ওটা আমি যদি ক্লাসে নিয়ে যাই না পেটাবে আমাকে ধরে ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা মানডেতে আমি না আসতে পারি আমার বাড়িতে একটুখানি কাজকর্ম চলছে ইনোভেশন রিনোভেশন চলছে প্রোডাক্ট লাইফ সাইকেলটাকে মেনটেন করতে হবে তো ওই জন্য একটু ইনোভেশন রিনোভেশন চলছে আমার বাড়িতে ঠিক আছে যাতে যাতে ডিক্লাইনিং স্টেজে না চলে যাই না 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 আমার বাড়ির ভিতরে কাজ চলছে ঠিক আছে সব লোকগুলো সোমবার মঙ্গলবার আসবে আজকে তো একটা বিশাল আমার সঙ্গে টাটা স্কাই এর একটা বিশাল ঝামেলা হয়েছে আরে ইন্টারনেটটা অফ হয়ে গেছে 3 দিন ধরে কমপ্লেন করছি যাবে না আজকে এসছেন তারা ঠিক है এসে বলে हम लोग ये काम ऐसा नहीं करता ইলেকট্রিশিয়ান को बुलाइए হ্যাঁ আর এসছে তখন প্রায় 11:30 12টার সময় কোন ইলেকট্রিশিয়ান পাবো আমি করে সে এক বিশাল চিৎকার চেঁচামেচি ঝামেলা তারপরে বললো স্যার मंडे होगा संडे तो हम लोग काम नहीं करता है আমি যা এই সব চলছে আমার বাড়িতে এখন মানে নাচন কোদন চলছে এখন ঠিক আছে মানে যত রকম ভুলভাল আর কি মানে এগুলো গেলে বাড়ির টেনশন এটা অন্য টেনশন না নিজের কিছু হয় না এগুলো মানে ফালতু টেনশন আর কি না তো আমি আমাকে মিত্রা তখন বললো তুমি সোমবার দিন যদি অফিস যাও তো এগুলো কি করে করবো আমি ঠিক আছে তাহলে আমি দেখি আমি তাহলে আমার এখন অনেক কম্প অফ পড়ে আছে একটা তো কম্প অফ নিয়ে নেবো ঠিক আছে কি বলে আবার Oh, আশ্চর্য, আশ্চর্য, সেই কেন মিশন নিয়ে সেই অবভিয়াসলি এই বাঁকা ছেলে একবারে। সেই সেই। আচ্ছা, আপনাকে একটা ভালো কথা মনে করি, এই যে ছেলেপুলেগুলো সপস্টপ গেছিল না, ঠিক আছে, এইটাকে ইয়েকে বলুন তো, চিন্ময় পান্ডিয়াকে, যে এটাকে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে দিতে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে দিতে বলুন, ঠিক আছে? হুম, হুম, আচ্ছা, ও, ও, আচ্ছা, ওকে, ও, ও, হ্যাঁ। সেই সেই। হুম, 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 হুম। আপনার কালকে আমাকে, পরশুদিন আমাকে ফোন করেছে, আমি আর কালকেই তো আমি আর বৈশাখী যখন যাচ্ছি, অন দ্য ওয়ে আমাকে ফোন করেছে, স্যার গুড আফটারনুন। হ্যাঁ বলো। আমাকে গুগল অ্যানালিটিক্স এর লগ ইন আইডি পাসওয়ার্ড দিন। গুগল অ্যানালিটিক্স লগ ইন আইডি পাসওয়ার্ড কিসের? আমি বললাম যে তুমি কি ইনস্টিটিউটের ওয়েবসাইট গুগল অ্যানালিটিক্স এর বলছো? ইয়েস স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার। ওটা আমার কাছে কোথা থেকে থাকবে? আমার কাছে কোনো অ্যাকাউন্ট পাসওয়ার্ড আমার কাছে নেই। ও পিরান ডক্টরকে বলো ওনার কাছে থাকে না, ওনাকে আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছি না, উনি বলেছেন ওনার কাছে নেই। অ্যালাম শোনো, গুগল অ্যানালিটিক্স এর পাসওয়ার্ড মানে যখন আমরা গতবারে হ্যান্ড ওভার করেছি, তোমাকে ভার্সনই হ্যান্ড ওভার করে গেছে নিশ্চয়ই, ঠিক আছে? আর যদি না পাও, তুমি খোঁজ নাও যে কোন ইমেল আইডি থেকে ইয়ে করেছো, গুগল অ্যানালিটিক্স ক্রিয়েট করা হয়েছে। আমার এখন মনে নেই, 9 মাস আগেকার গল্প, ঠিক আছে? তো কোন ইমেল আইডি থেকে, মোস্ট প্রবাবলি মার্কেটিং ইমেল আইডি থেকে করা হয়েছে, সেটা থেকে গিয়ে পাসওয়ার্ড রিকভার করে করো। মানে কি অদ্ভুত ছেলে, 9 মাস ধরে অ্যানালিটিক্স দেখেনি ও, ওকে বোধহয় বাম্বু ফাম্বু দিয়েছে কেউ একটা, ঠিক আছে? হ্যাঁ, হুম, সেই, হুম, চিন্তা করুন, মানে তার মধ্যে তো আবার এটাও তো বলিনি, এই মিস্টার পিওপি, ঠিক আছে, পিওপি হঠাৎ আমাকে ফোন করে বুধবার দিন বলছে, বুধবার না সরি, সোমবার দিন, স্যার আমরা কবে গেলাম, কালকে তো না, বুধবার দিনই বলছে, বুধবার দিন ফোন করেছে সকালে, স্যার আর ইউ কামিং টু ইনস্টিটিউট? নো আই এম নট কামিং টুডে, আই হ্যাভ টেকেন আ ডেজ লিভ, আই ওয়ান্ট টু সিট ইন ইউর রুম। হ্যাঁ প্লিজ গো হেড, ইটস ইউর রুম অলসো। তো যাই হোক, করিডোরে আমাকে বললো, আই হ্যাভ বিন গিভেন আ big task of handling this Chinur Pandya with, there is a problem with BT, I mean BT মানে, তো বললো বিগ ট্রাঙ্ক। আমি বললাম, ও আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, ও তো চলে যাওয়ার কথা মার্চ মাসে, এখন অব্দি কেন কন্টিনিউ করছে? তো বললো, আই এম নট শিওর, হি ইজ চার্জিং রিটার্নারশিপ ফর 4.5 lakhs। সে তো রিটার্নারশিপ কন্ট্রাক্টেই ছিল, সেটা পরের কথা, কিন্তু সে তো মার্চ মাসে বন্ধ হওয়ার কথা, এখন অব্দি চলছে কেন? চিনুরকে সেটা জিজ্ঞেস করো তুমি, ঠিক আছে? মানে না না, আই থট ইউ ক্যান হেল্প মি। না না, আমার সঙ্গে এখন কোনো টাচ নেই, টাচ ফাচ কিছু নেই ভাই, আমি কোনো হেল্পের কিছু নেই এখানে, চিন্তা করুন। মানে এখন সীমা সাইনি না, মানে ল্যাজে গোবরে অবস্থা মার্কেটিং নিয়ে, ঠিক আছে? যাক, চলুন, আমার আমার ক্লাস চলছে এখন, ওই বিএইচইউ ক্লাসটা, ওদের 10 10 মিনিটে ব্রেক দিয়েছি, পরে আপনার সঙ্গে গল্প করে চলুন। হ্যাঁ, চল চল চল, ওকে ওকে। सॉरी गाइस, यस। वही सृजन, सृजन फिर सेकंड हाफ में भाग क्यों जाता है? सृजन को छोड़ना ही मुश्किल है, जैसे ही छोड़ता हूँ वो भाग जाता है। एक काम करते हैं आज, आज प्राइसिंग फिनिश कर लेते हैं पहले, ठीक है, फिर we will continue place up to some extent and maybe I won't be able to finish place today. ठीक है, चलो, no.
Sir, is it possible to just close this here today just because I'm also not feeling well?
You want to close it today? ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं ना, और एक स्लाइड है उसको कर लेते हैं,
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है, ओके. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes sir. Visible.
Okay, so break even आप तो बता ही दियो, ठीक है. So total revenue is equal to total cost जब होता है, this is the break even point when they both meet. Okay, graphical representation also. This is a fixed cost which doesn't change with what is fixed cost? Any cost which doesn't change with the number of units produced. ठीक है. Variable cost changes for every unit produced. The variable cost, total variable cost goes up, right? So this is the variable cost. This portion is the variable cost. This is the fixed cost. Okay. So this total, this plus this becomes the total cost here. When the total cost meets the total revenue here, we say it's a break-even point. Okay. So there's no profit, no loss actually. Okay. Now, when I say adapting the price, this is basically called the price discrimination. How price is discriminated in the world. Okay, so there are different kinds of discrimination in the price. Sometimes it's basically price discrimination. For suppose I want to sell 1 unit, I want to sell 100 units. I give different prices. Okay, I give different prices to different class of population. Okay, for a socioeconomic class, higher class, I give a different. So similar products, I give different pricing to different class of population. Okay. So customer segment pricing. Okay. So customer segment pricing is something like, I am making a price on the basis of my customer segmentation. Suppose my customers are students. I am giving a discounted price to students. Okay. I am giving a senior citizens discount on airfare and railway fare. Okay. So these are different segments of customer. I am giving different pricing. Product form pricing. Okay. Think about a same product. Okay, a 2-liter bottle of water. Okay, and a 25-liter bottle of water. 25-liter bottle cost you 40 rupees. 2-liter bottle cost you 60 rupees sometimes. So same product, different forms, that is different sizes, are at different prices. Okay. Image pricing. Image pricing is basically when you put the same product in different names which has different images. So sometimes perfumes, same perfume in a bottle with a different with a brand name which is a very premium brand name, you sell at a very high price. Same perfume, you sell it at another bottle with a common brand name, you place it at a price which is lower. Okay. Image pricing. Then channel price. Channel pricing is something like, you sell the same Coca-Cola in a shop at 20 rupees, in a restaurant at 50 rupees, in a fast food center at 100 rupees, and it in a mall at possibly 200 rupees. Okay, hello.
In PVR, it costs 250 rupees.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So different channels have different pricing of the same product. Location pricing. Okay, go to a movie hall. The front seats are at lesser price. The middle seats are a little high, and the back seats are premium. Okay, location pricing. Time pricing. Okay, time pricing is something like, again, I give you an example of movie. So, you go to a morning show, the price of the tickets are low. Go to a matinee show, the price of the tickets are high. Again, go to a night show, the price of tickets are low. Okay. So different times. Tell me.
In the festival, the tickets.
Festival times, different products have different kinds of pricing. Okay. And exactly that's what a time pricing is, exactly what you said. Okay. Seasonal pricing. Same product, seasonal demand goes up, the pricing goes up. Okay. So those are all different kinds of price discriminations. Okay. So what we do is we end here. Tomorrow we can start with place and channel. Okay. And complete it. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Chalo. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good.